Thank you so very much for joining me. My name is Tiami Kazulu, and today I'm going to be taking you in civic education. Our topic for the day is the Constitution. So with me, I have 20 questions that come in the examination room according to my research. So the first question, which is a document that regulates citizens' behavior and the supreme law of the land, is known as the Constitution. The second question, which is the Constitution is defined as, so they want us to define a Constitution. This is 2 marks. A Constitution is defined as a set of rules, laws and regulations that govern people, that regulate the acts of people. So that is the definition of a constitution. Now, the third question, which is the constitution is important in any country because it regulates the acts of its people. It is going back to the definition of the whole topic. So now, the fourth question, which is what is the practice of strictly adhering to the constitution? The act of strictly adhering to the constitution, this is known as constitutionalism. I repeat, this is known as constitutionalism. So now we go on to the fifth question. Our fifth question, which is what is the significance of the Chona Constitutional Review Commission of 1972? So what did this Constitutional Review Commission do? It brought about single participatory system or one party participatory system, where only one party participated in the general elections. So now we move on to the next question, which is list down the 5 characteristics of a good constitution. Now, the 5 characteristics of a good constitution. Number 1, it is clear and definite. Number 2, it is accessible. Number 3, it is not too rigid, not too flexible. Number 4, it protects citizens' rights. Number 5, it caters for the needs of people. So now we move on to the next question, which is a Zambian constitution opens with, what does the Zambian constitution open with? It opens with a preamble. So now we move on to the next question, which is the method of amending and adopting a constitution in which the representatives are drawn from churches, learning institutions, trade unions, civil society, student bodies, and special interest groups is known as this method is known as constituent assembly. So they are drawn from various sections of society and they are brought together to discuss about the constitution. So now we move further. The phrase constitutional supremacy means these other documents fall subordinate to the constitution. The constitution it regulates what these documents can have in them. So now we move on to the next question. Differentiate between rigid and flexible constitution. So now a rigid constitution, this is a constitution that is very hard to amend. It is only amended by special procedures such as calling for a referendum. Now then a flexible constitution, this is a constitution that is easily amended. It is easily amended by a group of eligible citizens. Now we move on to our next question, which is what method can the Bill of Rights in Zambia, in the Zambian constitution, can be amended? So what is the method in which the Bill of Rights can be amended? It can be amended by calling for a referendum. So now we move on to the next question, which is Dash Constitutional Review Commission recommended that only persons whose both parents were Zambian citizens by birth would qualify for presidential candidacy. So which Constitutional Review Commission recommended that persons whose both parents are Zambian could qualify for presidential candidacy? So this was the Mwanakatwe Constitutional Review Commission. So now list and explain 2 types of constitution. So we have a rigid constitution and we have a written constitution and we have an unwritten constitution. A written constitution, this is a constitution that has its embodied in one single document. And an unwritten constitution, this is a constitution that has its provisions found in various bodies. So now we move on to the next question, which is Dutch constitution is enacted by different bodies which have higher states than ordinary law. So a constitution that is enacted but with higher states than ordinary law is known as a rigid constitution. So now let me follow my guide. So now we move on to the next question, which is mention 2 ways of adopting a constitution. So we can adopt a constitution by the Constituent Assembly, and we can also adopt a constitution by Parliament. So now, following my guide, we're moving on to the next question. So what type of constitution can be easily adaptable to the changing conditions of the society and dynamics? So a constitution that easily changes according to society's needs is known as a flexible constitution. Okay, so now two other additional questions. We have, what do you call the changes made to a constitution? So what do we call the changes made to a constitution? These are known as amendments. And what the other question is, what law does the president use to appoint commission of inquiry? The Inquiries Act. It is known as the Inquiries Act. So now, one other additional question, the last question I think. A constitution that is based on conventions, the main advantage of unwritten constitution is it avoids manipulation by the people that are in power. So that was our 30 plus, I would say 30 plus questions that we had. These are the questions that, according to my research, come on the examination. Please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, and also to follow my Facebook page, which is Young Team, and also my Instagram page, which is Success in High School. Thank you.